Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you some Keyforge deck reveal and review. This is going to be a Dark Tidings deck, and see what we get here. Um, oh, I saw Star Alliance. So, all right, we have the Dame of Civilquarter. Definitely thinking Sanctum here. And then Shadows. Hey, no Sanctum got logos, but I was right about the Shadows, which is kind of just a lucky guess because I didn't really thought Civilquarter might have something to do with that, but sounds so Sanctumy. So, so with this deck, I am hoping for a lot of efficiency out of the Logos and Star Alliance, along with some Amber generation, probably tied to the efficiency. And then in Shadows, I am hoping for some steal and some board control in the form of damage. Um, maybe some board control in the Star Alliance too, because I think that's where we're likeliest to be weak. All right, let's see what we get, starting with Logos. Ooh, Howling Pit is an artifact with an amber, and it makes everybody refill their hand to one extra card. That's cool. We got a Fila. That could be a little draw mid-turn. Okay, Mecha Buoy, interesting. It's an artifact with an amber that says at the start of each player's turn, if the tide is high for that player, they gain one. So, okay, that could be pretty interesting. And then Professor Garwin is a 3-power human scientist with elusive that says Reap. You may choose a card in your archives and put it into your hand. Garwin always comes with at least one theory or conjecture, so we know we'll be getting one of those. Armadrone, 1 power, 3 armor, fight, steal 1. We have a Seaborg to give us a little tide control. If we have the Mecha Buoy out, we're going to really want to keep control of that tide. If we're playing against a non-Dark Tidings deck and we can keep control of the tide without spending chains while the opponent has to spend chains, that's going to give us an advantage. Got a second Seaborg. Ooh, and P.I. Sweven, if this can stay alive, it's really nice. 2-power human scientist, Reap if the tide is high, draw 3 cards. Reap draw 3 is really good, but the tide has to be high. We've got a science, which is going to work well with the theory or conjecture that we haven't gotten yet. Then we have 2 other cards, so we'll see if the science is going to be very good. I'm a little worried. Submersive Principle, that's a little iffy with the science. When you play it, each player loses 1, but if the tide is high, then each player loses half. There's our first theory or conjecture. We could get another one. When you play it, you choose to either archive the top 2 cards of your deck or play the top card of your deck. That could actually work well with the science. And lastly, another theory or conjecture. Great. All right. So those could actually work well with the science, but it just feels a little silly when you're comparing to, I could have Wild Wormhole or I can't ever remember it. But yeah, I could have Wild Wormhole and it would just have the amber and then science could be something else. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. In Shadows, we have, oh, yeah, 2 amber pips there. That's not a ton, but maybe we could add up to a lot. Finchcloak, 4 power elf thief with fight reap. If you have less amber than your opponent, steal 1. Otherwise, each player gains 1. Very interesting card. We've got a booby trap. This one has a damage icon on it, or added to it. That's cool. Lots of possibilities there. We have a miasma bomb. That might have been what provided the enhanced damage that went on the booby trap. Miasma bomb action, destroy miasma bomb. Your opponent skips the forge a key step during their next turn. Kind of a little iffy. We've got ransack. When you play it, you steal 1 and then you discard the top card of your deck. If that card is a shadows card, you trigger the effect again. Play it and pray. Gas pipes Malone. Before fight, the creature it fights captures 1 from its own side. That's always it's a one-shot effect. We've got Jackie Tar. Reap, deal 1 to a creature, but if the tide is high, deal 6 instead. That's very nice. So we have mostly damage stuff here. A little bit of steel, but a lot of damage stuff. Third Jackie Tar, wow. Then we have a Looter Pillage. You choose one, you either steal an amber or a friendly creature captures 3. We have a Seeker Needle, oldie but goodie. 2 Seeker Needles, okay. And then Walk the Plank says play if your opponent has no amber, deal 4 to a creature, otherwise steal 1. All right, yeah, so like I said, a lot of damage, a little bit of steel, a little bit of amber generation, excuse me, but really a little behind on both. So really a very damage heavy shadows. All right, let's see what we have in Star Alliance. General Order 24. Such good board control. I love it. It's an artifact that says at the start of each player's turn, they must choose a creature they control and destroy each creature of the chosen creature's house. If that player has no creatures in play, destroy General Order 24 instead. So that'll keep the board cycling. We got Plasma Nozzle. So good. It's an upgrade with an amber. It gives a creature before fight deal 2 damage to the attacked creature with 2 splash. Cool. We've got Professor Emeritus Keyring. I like this card. It's a 1-power human with deploy and play, fight, reap. It's a great effect. At least you get it on the play, even though it's a tiny creature and probably going to die. Play, fight, reap. Use one of Professor Emeritus Keyring's neighbors. If the tide is high, also use its other neighbor. So that could be pretty cool. Plop it down, reap with the Jackie Tar, or the Finch Cloak, maybe the Pi Sweven, the Pi Sweven. That could be great. I wonder if you could play Keyring, reap with Seaborg, kill something, and then the tide raises because of that, and then you continue reading Keyring's effect. If the tide is high, also use its other neighbor. I think it could work, actually. That'd be pretty sweet. Colonist Chapman, 3-power taunt, and each of its non-Star Alliance neighbors gains reap, gain 1. That could be really nice. I like that. We have a CXO Tabor, which has fight or reap. You may play or use a non-Star Alliance card this turn. That's great. Karkar gives us 5-power taunt, hazards 3, great protection against for some creature. And we've got Rocketeer Triskaw, 4-power human that says while the tide is high, Rocketeer Triskaw's neighbors enter play ready. Fun. I mean, that gets you the Tabor, maybe. Yeah, good stuff. Shield You Later, a 3-power robot with 2 armor, but it can be played as an upgrade instead, in which case it gives 2 armor. Good way to protect something. Another Shield You Later. Technobabble, action with an amber, stun a creature and each of its neighbors that shares a house with it. Very nice. Got another one of those. And then finally a Zap, which lets you deal 1 damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play. All right. Checking pips. We have 3, 4. 4 pips, although I think the Keyring definitely is worth at least 1. Triska's worth at least 1. But let's count the raw for now. 3, 4. Okay, that's a steal. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So not super high expected amber, but there's some efficiency. I love the Star Alliance. If you can keep anything on the board, then the Star Alliance is suddenly going to be very helpful to you. And then we have some good board control with the General Order 24. So I like this. I would tend to rate this at like a, maybe we'll get like a 68 here. Don't think it's great. There's just not enough control or enough just raw speed. But I think it's pretty good. And I'll guess we're going to get something like a 68. I'll pause and we'll see. All right, and here we are. I had guessed 68. And boy, does SAS disagree with me on this one. It rates it at a measly 60, which is pretty low. Why is that? Well, because it has no artifact control. Uh, the expected amber is only decent. Um, it has 8 effects that want the tide, but only 2 that manipulate it. That's a valid criticism. Only the 7 raw bonus amber. Um, Howling Pit is negative disruption. It helps the opponent. So yeah, I can see some of that. I think that's maybe a little too harsh. There's some fun stuff in there. General Order 24 is probably getting a bad rap here. How much? Really, it mm, has a below 50% win rate. So sad. Such a good card. I love it. Um, but I can see it's not wonderful. Yeah, the amber control's a little on the low side. Yeah, but oh well. That is the Dame of Civilquarter. Seems fun to me. I'm looking forward to giving it a spin. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and you'll get out and forge some keys.